I'm Koy Aleta, and we're here to welcome you to Toontalk 2024 Down the Rabbit Hole.
Are you guys ready to immerse, delve, and enter the amazing and lovely stories visually portrayed and rendered by our fellow authors?
And let us not forget, of course, why this is an opportunity for our fellow authors to share their animation journey over the past year and to provide invaluable insight to their experiences. But before we continue, let's take a moment and start with a prayer.
Let us put ourselves together in the presence of the Lord and pray.
Let breathe a spark in faith, service and communion. Let us start the change hearts forever.
Thank you. You may now all take your seats.
Hello again, I'm Raf, and let's journey down the rabbit hole.
To brief everyone on this journey, Toontalk is an event dedicated to showcasing students' animated thesis films and sharing their creative journey and process in crafting these masterpieces.
Exactly, this is the final day of the largest Toontalk ever in the world. But let's be reminded of a few guidelines. When you talk, put the mic to your mouth before you start.
A few reminders for our audiences. Please refrain from recording the films being presented. A recorded live stream will be available for you to watch again.
Keep your phones on silent or vibrate.
Food and drinks are permitted, but remember to stay clean as you go. Garbage bags are found provided around the venue to observe cleanliness.
Comfort rooms are available. Please help the ushers. Please approach the ushers to help you go to the comfort room. Ushers.
There will
My
be a
bad.
Q&A session after each presentation. We welcome everyone to participate.
We are also going to present a data privacy notice. Thank you very much.
All right, so I think now let's get on with our Toontalk.
Closer. Yeah. Yes, let's go.
So, our first presenter, have you ever wondered what it was like before? Jared Fernando certainly has.
All right, let's take a glimpse into the past. Tara na dito sa Nayon by Jared Fernando.
Hello. Hello. Oh, okay na. Hello, I'm Jared Fernando and I'm here to tell you about my film dito sa Nayon. Pwede bang mag-skip dito? Skip na sa production ba yun? Ay, sa my journey. Next, please. Next. Yan. So, like my production journey or my creative journey during my thesis is dito. Okay. My production journey or my creative journey during my thesis is really messy kasi medyo, awan ko. At first, next slide please. At first, during my Aniproj, it was the time during the May 2022 election, tama. everything was in chaos, and I don't know, like rage build up and everything. So yeah, it was really my motivation, the rage I felt during the election to create this project. So ayun, I came up with around 140 pages sa thesis paper pa lang. So like, I don't know, that was kind of crazy. So ayun, the motivation really came out ganun. Next slide, please. So, next, saan story? So, even though I have like this super extensive research paper, I didn't know how to write a story. Ganon. So, like, parang iiyak na lang ako nung nagsusulat ako ng story. First, I had this like plot na gusto kong gawin. Then, parang may pinadagdag na may pinadagdag. Tapos hindi ko na siya maintindihan. To the point na like, okay, I'm just gonna go with it kasi like, ito naman yung yung in-advise sa akin na gawin. So, I'm just gonna go through with it and, like, push through. Ayun. So, I don't know how to write the story, kaya, I guess. Next slide, please. So, ayun. Ani-prep was really a different dimension kasi like, I thought I would love Ani-prep pero medyo late yung paggawa namin from the character designs, background designs, and yung everything else. So, during Ani-prep, our whole class finished yung kabuuan ng Ani-prep namin in 1 month para ma-endorse kami for the defense. And ewan ko, like, it was so tiring, parang na ako nun, during that time, ano ba yung term? Yun, burnout na. Kaya like, I just pushed through. Okay. Push through with it. And next slide, please. Kaya yun, eto, nung Unproud 1, I'm meme ni Queen Leng Leng, kung kilala niyo si Queen Leng Leng. Kasi like sabi ko, ayoko na ng story ko, pero kailangan ko pa rin tapusin kasi nandito na ako, like I'm halfway done, tapos ayoko mag-extend, gusto ko na-graduate, ganun. So I'm just doing everything I can, like I finished yung thesis and everything. Dito? Sorry. So, ayan, okay. Pwede pa. Hello? Okay, so yun. Ito? Okay. Sorry, my hands are big. Yun. So, yun, Unproud 1. Pero like, something happened during Unproud 1 that really gave back my motivation. Kasi sinabi ni Miss Danny sa akin noong time na yun, like, it's my story and I can do whatever I want about it. Tapos dapat, kung ano yung gusto ko, yun yung ipakita ko. Ganon. So, ayun, next slide, please. So, Unproud 2, I burned everything. So, yung 50% ko, they're gone. And I did my whole thesis during Unproud 2. I was able to finish my whole thesis film na 4 minutes in 2 months. Yun. Kaya, makikita nyo, it's really more of a conceptual part ng thesis ko kasi like it's just a one scene film that shows yung progression of time and stuff. Yan. But next slide, please. So yun, anime and medyo chill na lang kasi nag-composite na ako nung Prod 2. Tapos inaayos ko na lang dun sa may anime and Anipost yung composite ko. Tapos may mga additional stuff na lang pinagawa sila Miss Sheila tsaka si Miss Tata. And I was able to finish everything immediately. Tapos hindi naman siya ganun ka-heavy dahil Toon Boom din yung ginamit ko. Pero yung Toon Boom files ko asa 40 GB na ganun. Kaya sobrang tagal na ng overtime. No. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Di ko napansin. Tumitingin. Pero tapos na dapat ako. Tapos dito, di ba? Iba pala yung
Yeah, don't forget. Oh, dry run pa lang to. This. Yeah. All right, so let's open the Q&A session. May question ba kayo?
Hi. Anong future plans mo sa film mo?
Make it fast lang,
Actually, Go
Make it
lang.
fast lang. Sorry.
yung buong 10 seconds, 10 minutes ba na yun is kasama na yung Q&A? Okay, sorry. So, yeah, actually, yung buong film ko, like, i-revamp ko siya into something different because there's another way to properly execute it. Ganun.
Alright, thank you so much, Jarrod, and congratulations.
I'm sorry, I wasn't here when they were...
Presenters, next time, leave the mic on the pillow na lang. Thank you.
All right, on to our next film. So it is an animated superhero short by Marcus Chan. The Ones Who Need Help follows a superhero Shade as he starts losing control of his powers.
He needs to learn to open up and seek help about his emotions. Doing so will help him control his powers so he may no longer endanger the very people he seeks to protect.
Now presenting The Ones Who Need Help by
By Marcus Chan. So nag-post ako. It wasn't for... Sorry, this was Marcos, not Raf. Ayun, so anyway, thank you very much and I hope you enjoyed. Cheers.
All right, the Q&A is now open. Would anyone like to ask a question from the audience?
What software and tools did you use for your project and why did you choose them?
Very good answer.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Marcus. Okay.
Amazing.
So, for a third presenter, as students, one of the days we look forward to or dread is the day we receive our report cards. Nako. This dreaded day finally comes for Olivia as she receives it with red marks all over. How scary.
Oh my god. With her report card unsigned and her thoughts fighting against her, will she ever get it signed and pass it on time? Follow her journey in this short film titled Take Care
By Rebecca Go.
Noon, guys. Okay. This is Rebecca Go. Thank you for watching my film. Take care. So, production journey, please. Oh. For my production journey, it has a lots of ups and downs. Mostly down and down siya. So for research and story, I wasn't actually aware that I was researching about my thesis. Inisip ko lang, hihi, bakit ang complicated, ang daming kailangan gawin. And it was probably mentioned, pero natulala lang talaga ako. And overwhelmed by the thought of researching talaga. So I don't really like researching. How might we had multiple points then. I had multiple points pala. So my story was pretty messy. Originally, I chose a story that involves time traveling. So that's a big mess. Olivia goes back in time to fix her regrets and mistakes, pero naguluhan ako, so na-scrap yung idea. And for sorry. Pre-production, it's fun, but my wrist felt so bad. Thankfully, my wrist support ako. So just be careful to not overwork yourself lang. I also noticed that most of my storyboards didn't have background, so I suffered during production. Production time, I was lost and confused. I didn't know how to start and was still new to Toon Boom. I wanted to line everything in brush using the brush tool, but I wanted to resize the line art and ended up becoming a mess. So I redid everything and used the pencil tool na lang. Lots of revisions too. They're really good naman, but natakot ako tapusin. So cue procrastination during production. Post-production was super cool. Ilalagay mo lang yung effects doon, then fix the settings, and ang ganda na ng scene mo. I originally wanted to do it in Toon Boom, but na-nosebleed ako sa nodes, so na-scrap yung idea din yun. Then as you can notice, my crying, despair, and adjust beside the neuron activation. I'll explain that later. Next slide, please. Ayan. So, so production ouchies, bilisan ko lang. Time management was bad. Lots of procrastination. Confusion part 1, part 2, part 3 kasi madaming points yung how might we ko. Naguluhan yung film ko at the end. So I had to like shorten my how might we. Overwhelmed, lots of things to do. And then sleep who, organizing who. I slept at 6 a.m. Sometimes I wake up at 8 p.m. Super bad. Organizing, I wanted to organize everything at the start, but at the end, instead of scene 1, scene 2, nagiging scene 1 version 1, scene 1 version 1.2, scene 2 version 2.3, and naguluhan talaga ako. So laptop specs, my laptop is like 5 years old, really bad. Nakaya naman, pero like, multiple times natakot ako kasi it has crashed, but not too much naman, to the point that I had to like palit yung laptop ko. And then, this term, I took both Anipos and Animend were the hardest. Not because of my teachers, don't worry. They're really good. They're really accommodating with me. But, okay, wait lang. So, two of my loved ones passed away pala. And it was during the start of the film. Start of the term. And then the second one was during the endorsement of defense. So, I'll explain it further sa Toontalk. Ayoko umiyak ngayon, so... and then, next slide, please. Advice for animation student, bilisan ko lang. Choose a topic you'd like, do not overcomplicate it. That's what I did. And nahiyapan talaga ako. Consult with your professors. They are there to guide you. Manage your time wisely. I would recommend Notion. Yung recommend ng counselor ko, Google Calendar. And then Excel sheet, ko dread natin yun. Na-traumatize na tayo. Pero very helpful yung Excel sheet. Take care of yourself, eat properly, and sleep properly. I actually lost my period for multiple months. And natakot ako doon. Pero bumabalik na siya. And hopefully, ayos na siya after everything. Organize your files and have backups just in case. Have a USB in hand or like external hard drive. And then if you're experiencing something in life that can affect your work, please notify your professors. Don't be like me. Okay, next slide, please. Oops. Okay, next slide. Okay, thank you for listening. Okay.
All right, so the Q&A is now open. Does anyone have a question? Actually, may question ako. So, did you enjoy making the film?
To be honest, not really because madami nangyari as you can see.
Right.
Pero with this experience, I could use this as a way to much easier yung journey ko for next productions. And like instead of like speedrunning sa YouTube, Toon Boom tutorials, I could just do it na kagad with like gets ko na kung anong gagawin with shortcuts and stuff.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
okay,
you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
So, on to our next presenter. Actually, I have a story.
Oh.
I have a friend whose name is Galen Ramos. He's a 15-year-old high school student who is being bullied by his classmates and taught by his parents to be mature in bottling up his feelings.
Will he be able to express these emotions openly to the ones closest to him? Find out in the short animated film by Sol Cordero when Gale starts to open up. Let's watch the film.
So yes, that was my film, Gale Open Up by me, Sol. So next slide on production. Ayun. So basically, I just grinded from Aniproj all the way to Anipost, from like the screen, the what do you call this? The research paper that was amazing, the animatic, the monitoring sheets, the crying, the loss of insanity, to the sleeps, to the eye strains. Next slide. So basically, yes, Genesis Adriano said, choose a topic that's close to your heart. And then I was able to follow it, so I gotta make it a personal story. And for Dennis Sebastian, he also agreed to my message. It was very clear, so there was no problem with that. Annie Prep, Miss Ma'am Eru was also supportive on that as well. She saw how fast I worked, and she said I was on schedule. Next slide. Ayun. So Anprod 1, it was very fun. Miss Kyla said we should do 50%, so it was very chill. There wasn't much to, what do you call this? There wasn't much pressure done there. And then after that, down came Anprod 2 with Sir Pat. That's when he wanted to add more scenes. He was like, kaya mo ba, Sol? Kaya. Ano ba yan? Tapos, so I followed everything that he wanted. He wanted the montage, he wanted the drama, he wanted to add the victory. So next went to Anipost. Anipost with Miss Sheila. So I'm not really good at compositing after all, because like we had an argument on how these two cars are not the same color, and I was literally struggling on that one. Next slide. So advice to the animation student, save files in different platforms, Microsoft OneDrive, G Drive, USB. Pursue the advocacy, animation as a powerful tool in media. Organize scenes properly, Toon Boom Harmony, and the rest, because I didn't get to organize it in the harmony. I just made it 12 scenes and it kept crashing. So Sir Pat got mad at me on that. And then rest, because thesis is not a solo task. And trust the process. You will get there in the end. Work smart, not hard. Next slide. Ayun, thank you.
That's right. Congratulations. And yes, you are enough. So the question and answer portion is now open for anyone in the audience who would like to ask a question.
What message do you hope your audience takes away from your film?
I want the audience to know that it's not making girls to be pretty or making boys to be brave, but it's just being human, because everyone deserves to be respected, just like in the film itself. So, yeah, that's it.
No, actually, I have a question. Do you have? I have a question actually. Do you have a specific moment that helped inspire the idea of this film?
Yes, it did inspire my idea of back in 2017. It was a story as well. That's based on that.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right. So thank you so much for presenting, and congratulations on your film.
All right, wise words. On to our next presenter.
Yes.
So, phones are almost an essential thing to have in our modern era, and we use it daily. We use it when we go to school, when we eat, and even when we are about to sleep.
And as a habit that we say is that we can stop anytime we want, but we don't, because we don't think we need to. It's a habit that is hard to get rid of, and here we have an animated short showcasing this exact habit.
Follow Nyx as she finds out what it's like to be living in a world where we wouldn't disconnect from our phones and out of touch by Mark Jester Estremos. Wait lang guys, before we watch the film, okay lang naman na mag-talk kayo sa presentation nyo. Just like keep it short kasi you also have to practice the Q&A also. Okay? Thank you. Okay, go.
Just one more play.
Skip to development pipeline. So this is my development pipeline where I started research and pre-production, production, and post-production. The usual pa rin with 2D pipeline, pero a bit more complicated with all the things that you'll be doing in production mostly. And next. So in research, my topic was supposedly about sleep. And it's about like parang having a harder time to sleep than most people. I get jealous always with people that when they lay down and they're like, they're already asleep. And then now, next slide, please. And now my topic is about phones. So the bridge towards from sleep to phones is mostly because before I go to sleep I always use my phone for sleeping. Like, okay, I'll tire myself out with constant doom scrolling and eventually I'll get tired. And that's how the topic becomes about focusing on the phone's aspect. Then next slide, please. So pre-production, I already have a set mind of how long my film will be. Like I'm planning like intro 1 minute, control the conflict will be like 30 seconds and the healing process like 1 minute, and then the ending is like 30 seconds. Of course, that 3-minute animation will always extend, next slide please, to a longer one. When I was doing the animatic now, it's now 4 minutes and 30 seconds of animation, which is a much longer film. And now, as you can see at the bottom part, the total runtime of my film became almost 7 minutes. Yeah. Next slide, please. And then I also made some props and blah, blah, blah. Skip na lang natin yan. Skip. Yes, Unprod 1, I use my laptop for modeling where it's just constantly burning. Next slide. And then when in Unprod 2, and now it's my brother's laptop that's burning. And next slide, please. So I'm during Unprod 1 is mostly modeling. Where I model the backgrounds. I also, next slide please, I also model the characters. And the characters, I also personally rigged the models. And then if you would look at the next slide, they're all the same character models. I just changed their outfits, and because the most hardest part in this production is like modeling the character if you're starting from scratch. Because look at all those lines. That's a lot of lines and a lot of points. Next slide, please. And in Unprod 2, I was focusing in animating, and this is like one of the scenes that you wouldn't see in this angle. That is looks very stretched out, but in the camera it looks normal. It's like one of the aspects of animating in 3D. Next. And lastly, I hate skirts, because animating skirts is hell. It's just bad, because it's like every part of those like lines that you see, that orange lines, is like for a bone, and there's like 5 bones per strand, and that's just it's a bad experience of like keeping those in track. Next slide. And post-prod is either you choose compositing in Blender, next slide. Next slide. And then compositing in After Effects. I chose to do both. In some scenes, I chose to composite in Blender and some in After Effects. Next slide. And next slide na yan.
That's another joke for another time. And production was roughly 1 academic year, and that time of like 3 to 4 months for modeling, animating, and fixing and compositing is nearly not enough for a single person to do. And next slide, and the good, bad, the lessons. I'll just skip that for the mismo presentation. And I'm done. I'm done. For now.
Ayun, congratulations.
Thank you.
The question and answer is now open. So if there is a question from the audience.
Hi, how do you see your film influencing your future work or career as an animator?
I can see it influencing me as it's like the base point of how my skill is right now, and I use that will be my references for when I'm animating more in the future. Like, oh, dito ako nanggaling. Like, there's always a starting point for everyone in terms of animating, and it's a good experience to look back in these experiences to see how much you've grown in the future when you're animating na professionally.
Yes. That's right. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your film. All right. Yay, thank you. All right, now on to our next presenter. Have you ever felt completely alone after
Guys,
losing
quiet.
someone you cared about? It's easy to feel like life is unfair and that you're facing the world on your own.
But even in these tough times, remember that there are people who care about you and want to support you.
A heartfelt reminder that no matter how hard things get, you're never truly alone. And it's okay by Venice M. Rodulfo.
Quiet, guys.
Hello, good morning. My name is Venice M. Rodulfo. And is everyone okay? All right, so let's skip to the production process. Next. Okay. So in my research and story, I already know what theme I wanted, and that's about grief and loss. And I will just share it here, not in Toontalk, that my inspiration is my baby cousin that passed away when I was in first year, and today is their birthday. So if they are alive, they would be 6 years old right now. So I'm thankful for Sir Chino to help me out in this research, and it was easy. I was able to sleep. Then in pre-production and ani-prep, I had Sir Ray Magbunawa. At first, the story was something that I wanted, but during the fence, Sir Tito, Sir Victor, and Sir Des, ayaw nila. So, I keep changing stories, and it was really stressful. And in production, I met the man, the legend, the father of all fathers, Sir Patrick. Oh my God. So, ang hirap. Nagpalit rin siya. And in post-production, si Sir Neil, the angel, it lift off the shoulder. So, next slide, please. So, go back. So here. So, it's really hard. My weakness is really storytelling. So I had to change a lot, 3 times. So during term break, I had no breaks. And I keep saying no to hangouts. And my film was supposed to be silent, but Sir Des said add voice. So Sir Chino and me were the voice actors, and you will know that on Tuesday. And Sir Patrick told me to remove some scenes. You see the X there. And I also added Grim Reaper, but Sir Ray doesn't want that as well. So there's like a lot of things that happened, and it was really stressful. But I have no regrets overall. I just wanted my film to comfort people na it's gonna be okay. Next slide. Next slide. So my advice for animation students is that start your film with 3 minutes since 5 minutes is already deadly. 3 minutes would be fine because a lot of profs will decrease or increase your storyline. And choose your thesis topic carefully for you will stay there for 2 years, so be committed. Then YouTube tutorials will help you a lot. It helped me a lot to learn a lot of effects. And be prepared for a lot of revisions. Don't be afraid. Sir Patrick, hello. And always have backups. I have 2 USBs, a G drive, and hard drive. And sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed. Again, no gaming. I said no to hangouts, no character AI. Okay. And then practice time management because it was really difficult to jumble it with other subjects. And find time for yourself because I lack short rest. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Congratulations on your film.
Thank you.
Nakaka-touch siya. So the question and answer portion is now open. Kung sino man have a question?
Hi. If you would have to do it again, what changes would you do in your...
I chose rigging, my friend Ira. Influenced me actually to do rigging, but I don't mind. It helped because it was fast. Control C, Control V. So, and I want to try 2D because I want to practice perspective. If you will see my film, there's no camera angles. It was all like, how do I expect that? Like, parang there's no perspective. It's so flat. But I want to practice it as much as I can. Thank
Right,
you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations.
All right, now on to our next film. There comes a time when we no longer know who we are, what we want, or who you're supposed to be. But that doesn't mean we're broken. Realizing this is the most important thing we can do to ease the pain of identity crisis and the associated feeling of alienation. The moment that you know you're not a sad story, you realize you're not special, but you are alive. This is everyone's experience. So this is A Rock and a Fox
By Altair
Altair
Hontomin.
Hontomin.
Thank you.
Hi, I'll be Altair for now. So hello, this is my thesis film. Uh, so, oh, oh wow. Oh, uh, oh damn. Oh shit.
Sorry, wala si Altair. Yeah, let's just skip to the end. Ang dami niyang pinakita. Shit, wait lang. Huh? What? Next. Yan na yung last. That's the last slide. Okay, sige. Thank you. Ayun. So, that's it. Let's sit down na lang. Ako, kunwari, ikaw na lang si Altair. I'll sit here na lang. Yeah.
Hi, hello.
Ayan, so the question and answer is now open. Kung sino man may question. Ako may question ako. Why did you make your presentation super long?
Cause I feel like, you know, Toontalk should be a time to celebrate our works.
I see. Okay naman guys. Pero grabe naman yung storyboard. Parang pinipicture mo naman kami ng animation eh.
Of course.
Grabe. I really liked your character design. How did you do that? Like, may thoughts ka ba?
I know, I just looked at the title and said, oh, okay.
ang galing naman. How did you come up with the title A Rock and a Fox?
I just had a rock and a fox.
Okay, sige. Thank you
Ayun.
very much. That was Alterhon to me and everybody. Round of applause. Ayun. So, on to our next presenter. What does it take for a person to be gold? Ask Maki, a young boy whose skin is of shining, sparkling gold. Despite his remarkable attributes, he still strives for perfection in his mother's eyes.
However, one low-graded test tarnishes and cracks his radiant image. Perhaps being gold isn't always that great. Maki's mom had to learn it sooner or later, and perhaps you will too as you take a look at Felisa Zargoza's film entitled To Be Gold.
Let's watch the film.
So thank you so much for watching my film, To Be Gold. I am Felisa Beatriz Zaragoza, but you can call me Felisa, and next production journey. Here is a bar chart of my journey. How stressed was I? From chill to crying 24/7. The lowest is Anne's story, and the most stressful is Annie prep. Next slide, please. So for Annie Proj, I actually liked this subject because I liked writing papers at that time. And also consultations with Sir Yo was really fun, especially because we started face-to-face. And the only nerve-wracking thing about this subject were the interviews, because I had to interview parents, 6 parents to be exact. And for Anne's story, on the other hand, I really liked conceptualizing the story and the characters, and during this time, my story was made more simple. Next slide, please. So this is Annie Prep. I was so stressed during this time because I had to learn how to use Storyboard Pro at the same time while making my animatic. And for our class, we were given the requirements a little bit late, and that made it super stressful. And as for prod, I realized I liked making the rigs more than animating them. Sorry, Miss Alex. And the main mishap that I had here was making backgrounds. I realized I wasn't really good at them. And I only started creating or recording my voiceovers for the dialogue during Anprod 2. So do not do that. Next slide, please. For Annie Pose, I really liked compositing, and I'm sure that everyone else did also. But this was the time that I had a lot of challenges because I had to redo some scenes and also re-record all of the dialogue of my child voice actor, who was also my nephew. And for, yes, and for Anim End, I had to rather make new scenes according to Sir Benji, but in the end, it still helped the flow of my narrative. So next slide, please. This is for my advice. Don't be afraid to push your film, because for me, I held back on mine out of fear, and now I kind of regret not adding more. So it's better to go all out and then take away, in my opinion. And also choose a topic that is not only personal, but something for every generation. Make use also of all your courses for thesis, or well, some of them, and enjoy for those new upcoming frosh, enjoy the new storyboarding class because our batch didn't have one. And if you are grade conscious like me, try not to be. Just remember that little progress is still progress. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you for listening.
didn't know that we had they were gonna have a new storyboarding class.
It's new, yeah.
That's so unfair.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, congratulations on your film.
Thank
I
you so
really
much.
loved your art style.
Thank you.
Okay, let's open the question and answer portion. Does anybody have a question in the audience?
Hello, if you were to choose another topic for your film, what would you have chosen?
I would have gone for other issues rather, such as environmental, because I want to advocate more about our ecosystem and preserving our earth, and also maybe dive into more topics that can revolve around animals, because I really am not for animal abuse, and I want all creatures and living things to be kept sacred. Yes, thank you.
All right, so thank you so much and congratulations on your film.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Alrighty, actually, before we go to our next presenter, Raf, I kind of have a question.
Oh, what's that question?
So, what happens if you suddenly feel drained of all your creativity?
I sleep.
Oh, you
I sleep a lot.
That's really good, yeah. So, well, in this film by Maxine Katakis, we follow Ivan, an artist who gets stuck with burnout from their heavy workload.
Now struggling with the creative blues, he must find ways to recover and get back to his old creative self before it's too late. Now presenting Creative Blues by Maxine Katakis.
Hi, hello, hi. I'm Maxine, and that was my film Creative Blues. So, let's go dun sa production journey. Okay, hello. Sige. Okay, so here's an overall summary of my thesis journey based on how stressed I was and how much I've cried. So, as you can see, sa Aniprep talaga ako na stress. Next slide, please. Okay, so starting off sa Aniproj, it was mostly easy. The only hurdle I had was that nahirapan ako with finding interviewees kasi I'm shy and I didn't want to bother anyone. But thankfully, natapos ko naman din. And then my struggle actually started sa Anne's story kasi I am not writing is not my forte. So throughout the term, nagsastruggle talaga ako with finding the right flow or storyline for my film. Tapos it really affected me by Annie Prep kasi I was overall dissatisfied by my story. So nangyari is for half of the term, it was just focused on me changing my story. Tapos dahil dun, I got overwhelmed by the requirements needed. Tapos I ended up getting burned out. Next slide, please. So dahil dun, so since I was burnt out, tapos I had a lot of revisions from the defense, ang nangyari is nawalan talaga ako ng motivation to animate. And dahil dun, since may deadlines tayo, I ended up getting overwhelmed again kasi I had to finish everything before the deadline. Pero thankfully, by Anprod 2, I was able to establish a good workflow. Tapos I was able to get the hang of things. Kaya, ayun, okay lang. Next slide, please. Kinabahan ako sa Anipos kasi I wasn't the most tech-savvy person, so I thought mahihirapan ako. But thankfully, I ended up having fun, and I realized na I really like compositing, so thank you, Sir Neil. And then sa Animend naman, kailangan kong habulin ng bagong scenes, tas I had to revise my ending din as by Sir Benji. Pero in the end, natapos ko na rin. So, yay! Next slide. Next slide, please. Sa advice na. Okay, so advice. It's just mostly to have backups of your files, choose a topic that you're passionate about, know your limits, don't be a perfectionist like me, don't be afraid then to ask for help, plan ahead, Work smart, not hard. Don't cram. Let yourself breathe. And overall, don't forget to have fun. Thank you.
Ayan, thank you very much. Congratulations on your film.
Thank you.
Right, let's open the Q&A now to the audience. Does anyone have a question?
Hello, is there anything you would want to explore more in your film?
Actually, initially kasi I wanted my backgrounds to be like yung kagaya sa stop motion, yung parang set design. So like actually made out of like materials and stuff. Pero I realized parang okay, parang kulang ang facilities and kulang ang materials for it. So I decided to stick to like 2D backgrounds para hindi ako mahirapan in the long run. So yun.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you din.
I thought you're next.
All right. So, nagugutom na siguro kayo. After watching all of these wonderful tales, I think everyone's stomachs are now rumbling, but we'd like to thank our sponsor. Oh no, you don't say
Oh.
others.
Oh no, I thought
You say everyone.
Okay, I thought because we were skipping this entire. I thought you
No,
wanted
no,
to
no.
simplify this.
You say everyone. They'll know
Okay,
sila, okay?
Our generous donors, the Campos family, Louis Velasco, Kathy Choa, ARJ, Mr. and Mrs. Reyes, Daniel Malazarte, the co-founder of Verse Digital Solutions, and the generous friends of Toontalk.
Lastly, special thanks to Benil, the Hub of Innovation and Inclusion, for letting us conduct our event here at the Makerspace. Now, let's go out for lunch. Kain na tayo. Please, yan.
Please return for the second half of our film showing after 1 hour and 30 minutes. See you!
1:30. Lunch break, lunch break. Yan, okay, presenter. Welcome back. Now, let's move on to the films.
So, it is a well-known fact that our lives today are dominated by technology and we use it in every aspect of life. But many may also get carried away and lose touch with what is around them, affecting their relationships and using it as a way to escape the real world.
Let us follow Abe and Rose's quest for answers on what technology has done in connection to their family's bond. A 3D animated film envisioned and brought to life by Renzo Luis Navarro. This is Reconnect.
Hindi ka iniintindi. Gusto ko rin sana
I love you, anak.
So, good day everyone. I'm Renzo Luis V. Navarro, and that was my film, Reconnect. So, production. Next. So, ayun, for production timeline, medyo maraming nangyari. So, first, nag-start sa research, then pre-production with unprep, then revision phase, asset making, animation phase, rendering, and compositing. Pero para sa akin, lahat to revisions lang ang nakita ko. So, next slide. So, Anproj, I ideated the topic of responsible technology use. And next muna. For Anne's story, next slide muna. Anprep, doon start na ako ng visual development when first para siyang naging 2D film, then nag-transition to 3D once umabot ng Unprod 1. Next. So, key events is nag-revise na naman ako, pero story na naman kahit Unprod. So, dito na ako nag-fully decide ng 3D, and dito na rin ako nag-start mag-learn ng Blender. And next slide. So, Unprod 2, revisions na naman, pero hindi na sa story, sa mismong characters and environments na mismo. So, dito na rin nag-start yung animation phase, and nag-revise din pati environments, fixed the lights, and updated the rigs and the cameras. Next. So, Post and one of the most stressful for me, kasi compositing was really a huge pain in pagdating sa 3D. And medyo unusual yung way ko sa pag-composite compared to others. And dito rin ako nag-gain ng new insights sa topic. Tapos, syempre, thankfully kay Miss Teta, medyo nabawasan din yung scenes ko from 105 to 80 plus na lang. And then, compositing sound design with my voice actors. And doon na rin yung final defense. Next. So, yung challenges ko. So, given na marami yung revisions, halatang-halata na kryptonite ko yung storytelling. So, and next is equipment. At first, we're very incapable in processing the film. And kahit sa 1104, di na kinakaya yung film ko. So, bugs, crashes, blue screens, major problem. And kahit sa tech booth, yun yung nangyayari sa akin. So, I felt a lot of burnout, art block, and unmotivated to continue the film at some point. Never-ending revisions slowed me down and held me back a lot of times. And my confidence level went down drastically. Next. So, pero with all that negativity, meron din ako mga positives. So, ang mapayo ko na sa mga students is take risks in a good way, but also know your limits and know how to relax. Don't hesitate to seek guidance from peers and professors. Build connections is also one of the main tools that I gained throughout. Have your own discarte and create your own techniques, because sometimes what works for you is what will you bring throughout the development of the film. And be confident and remember that you are the director of your film. Tapos siguro to add, never close your doors in exploring your topic as well. And next. That's all. Thank you.
Ayun, congratulations, Enzo.
Thank you.
Grabe. Let's open the Q&A now. Baka may audience member dyan na has a question.
So, out of all mediums, why did you choose to proceed with 3D for your film?
Kasi honestly, 3D was something really interesting for me. Kasi pag in terms of animation, mas na-expose ako sa 3D films, lalo na gawa sa Pixar. So it really influenced me and shaped me to this day.
Right. So, adding on to that question, what's your favorite part in the 3D production pipeline?
Siguro modeling.
Modeling talaga?
Kung sa iba mahirap, ako na-enjoy ko siya.
Oh, iba ka. Grabe. So, ayun. Congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
We'll see you at Toontalk, everybody.
Oh, grabe naman.
Oh,
That was a really good film. That was a really good film.
I was surprised. Hindi ko talaga kaya mag 3D. So, props
Same.
talaga sa mga 3D films natin dyan. So, on to our next film. Introducing Shot In, a short animated film by Jamila Bonagua. Follow Isaac, a young boy navigating the COVID-19 pandemic by immersing himself in video games.
As burnout sets in and homework piles up, Isaac must decide between his gaming obsession and his responsibilities. Join us for a journey of self-discovery and resilience.
Let's watch the film.
Hello? Okay na? Hello, so thank you for watching my film, Shut In. I'm Jamie, you guys can just call me that. Okay. Okay na. So let's move on to production. So yeah, this is my production journey throughout my thesis, and I'll talk about it in the future slides. Next, please. So, Ani-Proj. Research was okay for me kasi I really like doing papers throughout my senior high since I was in STEM. So, that was okay for me. Siguro, na-pressure lang talaga ako kay Sir Chino kasi he was really strict with me and kinailangan ko talaga to work on it since medyo bago, hindi naman sa bago, pero medyo weird yung concept na pinili ko. So, yeah. Next slide. Pre-prod. Medyo ako for Unstory. Tama ba? Unstory ba yung sunod ng Ani-Proj? Okay. Yeah. For Unstory, masaya naman siya because I like the prof. It's just, yung problema ko with this subject was, the storyboard I did was somehow useless na sa film ko since I had to scrap everything when I was in Anprod 1. So, even though I enjoyed the subject, it's meaningless na to me. For my Ani prep naman, can you go to the next slide? I'm just gonna check. Oh, yeah. So, for Ani prep, masaya naman siya kasi character design, background, concepts, yun yung pinaka na-enjoy ko since I really like pre-production. Yun nga lang, Sir Dennis gave the animatic requirement super late. I think 2 weeks na lang before endorsement, dun niya sinabi na need pala ng animatic, which wasn't a requirement during Story. So, I got really burnt out from that since, yun nga, nahirapan ako ng sobra with Storyboard Pro. And yeah, dun nagsimula yung burnout ko and I started hating my film during that time. So, next slide. Unprod 1. That was my most depressing time throughout my production journey kasi after endorsement, so na-defend ko na yung film and somehow I actually passed that class. Pero yun nga lang, my film, for my film, I tried fitting 3 story points in 3 minutes, which was unrealistic. So Miss Eru advised na I should focus on one topic lang. And so yeah, during Ani Prod 1, I was super anxious kasi ipapakita na kay Miss Isel yung animatic na ginawa during Ani Prep. And I was really scared kasi sabi ko, oh my God, ang pangit niya and I don't like it and I wanted to change it. So for 2 weeks, I had to do everything again. And doon ako nabaliw kasi ang hirap niya pala. So yeah, dahil doon, I got super burnt out ulit. And fun fact, I ghosted Miss Isel for 1 month sa Unprod 1 kasi nahiya talaga ako na ang pangit niya. So every time I would see Miss Isel sa campus, I would gradually avoid them even though kinakausap niya na ako. So moving on to the next slide. Unprod 2, it was somehow bearable kasi Miss Dani allowed me to work from home for that. So yeah, na-enjoy ko siya ng sobra since I didn't have to go to SDA and I had so much time to work on my film. Next slide. Unpost, my favorite era. So during Unprod 2, slide back lang ako doon, I had a subject called Anicom and super na-enjoy ko siya since dun ko lang natutunan yung After Effects. And I realized na, I actually like doing motion graphics and rigging. So doon ako napaisip-isip. Dapat pala nag-rigging na lang ako or at least nag-motion graphics for my thesis kasi mas nakaka-enjoy siya compared to traditional 2D. So, I had so much regret. So, for Ani-Post and Anim-End, ito yung pinakamasaya since compositing and yeah, I finished super early for my film. I'll just skip through the advice since I'll talk about it sa Toontalk na lang. So, yeah, that's it for mine. Yay!
Here. Ayun, thank you, congratulations. And let's open the Q&A. Anyone that have a question?
Hi, first of all, graduate ka. Second, can you describe a particular moment in your film that you are most proud of?
I think the best thing I could describe was yung ina-animate ko yung mga, ano yun, yung mga commercials. Kasi I had to revise them during yung defense revisions, and dun ko na testing yung yung pag-rig and yung paggamit ng stop motion sa After Effects. So, super ako nasayan talaga dun. Since sabi ko, oh, I actually really wanna do this.
Alright. Okay, so thank you again so much and congratulations on your film. Yay!
Yay! Thank you!
Okay, thank you so much.
Ayun, that was such a nice film, Koy, no?
It really was. Oh my god, I love the colors.
Yeah. Okay, on to our next presenter. To be given time to just kick back, relax, and enjoy the sunshine is a lovely gift for someone who's gone through rough and busy days. But what if that someone didn't exactly know how to ease up on themselves?
In Vacation Vocation by Shane Abiva, we follow Charlie, an extraordinarily stubborn office worker who gives his all the time, as the model employee of his company. He even has his own robot clones to follow suit. But when he's given the order to go on a vacation by his boss, he has no idea what to do. What sort of hijinks will our model employee and his clones get themselves into?
Let's watch the film.
Okay, so for my production journey, yung research part and stuff, like, I didn't know how I did it, pero like, ano lang siya, it was a breeze naman and stuff. And yung post-production din, it was, Toon Boom was kind of a godsend kasi like, doon ko ginawa lahat ng composition. But like, pre-prod tsaka production, that's where I had a lot of trouble. Next slide, please. So for my pre-production phase, I went through a lot of revisions. Firstly, sa character redesigns, it went through like, my first concept kasi was like, it would be like less cute. Pero like, I wanted the animation to be more simple. So I went for like, I squished my character. And then when Ani-Prep came, I had like, my entire animatic na for the finals and stuff. Tapos, pagdating, I had my entire animatics, my draft and stuff during Ani-Prep, pero like, I had to like change a lot of stuff kasi initially, the robot clones weren't supposed to be robots. They were supposed to be, made from, from like this photocopy machine. Pero like, I changed it because I didn't want to get in trouble with potential plagiarism. Kasi that was kind of similar with like this one episode in Gravity Falls, which I was inspired by. Tapos the other time, another major revision was like half of the film. I wanted to change the ending. Big kudos to Sir Pat kasi like he helped me with that. Next slide. So for the production phase, that's my favorite part. Making the t-shirt designs and also the rough animation. I had a lot of fun with that kasi I speed ran through all of it. Pero the rest of it during Unprod 2, next slide please. I died. Okay, so firstly, program troubles with Toon Boom. I used the wrong tool for the line art, so I had to like redo a bunch of it. Pero like konting scenes lang naman, so it's okay. Tapos I also strained my arm during this. Pero like I was still so stubborn, I kept like drawing. Bad idea. Don't do that. Tapos like hindi ko din maramdaman yung dito ko. That's like a warning sign, but I didn't like listen to it. So yeah, lesson solution: don't overwork yourself. Pero like don't overwork yourself. Someone said he wins the race. Yan. Next slide, please. Some advice and things I learned. First, be ambitious but know your limits. Like go wild with like brainstorming and stuff. Have fun with it. Pero like you should know like. Also, like, I guess be realistic then, like, know what you're, like, capable of. Like, push yourself, but, like, not too much. Second is, expand your horizons. Because initially, I wanted this film to be animated in Flash. Pero, like, I decided to give Toon Boom a shot. Kasi, why not part ng tuition? And, like, I realized it helped me out a lot. And lastly, be kind to yourself, please. Don't punish yourself when you mess up. and like pat yourself on the back whenever you like accomplish like, anything about your film and ganon. Tas yun lang. That's the end of my presentation. Next slide, please. Thank you for listening.
Ayan, that was really nice. Let's open the question and answer portion for anyone in the audience.
Hi. What would your film be like or be about if you went through with your very first concept?
My very first concept of the film, it was like my first idea was like instead of like what it's about right now, it would have been about like knowing your limits and learning how to say no and stuff. Yan.
Oh, okay. I have a question. So, if you were able to go back and redo any part of your thesis film, what would that be?
Yung animation siguro kasi some scenes like medyo choppy siya and like I was too tired to make it smoother. But I figured, okay na to nung para sa
Grabe din
final
talaga.
submissions.
Yeah, we make do. Pero it turned out really great. So, congratulations talaga.
Thank
You did
you.
amazing. All
Thank you.
right. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much. And on to our next presenter.
Yes.
So, have you guys ever had a phase where you start having main character syndrome from all the rom-coms you've been watching? Well, Haley Valentine, a 14-year-old girl, is in that phase right now. After watching her favorite romance drama, she decides to make moves on her crush at school.
Will she win him over? Who knows? Let's find out in Shafia
Shafia
Wings' Saldaña's
Saldaña's
film Scene.
Hello. Hi, I'm Shafia Wing Saldana, and that's my film Scene, but you can just call me Pixie. Can we skip to the production journey? Thank you. Okay, sorry, yeah. Back, back a little bit. Just one slide, but okay. Yeah, so here's my journey. Next slide, I'm sorry. So for any project, I thought it was the easiest process of the whole thing, and I was really having fun because back in senior high it was very research heavy. So I was pretty well versed in that field, and yeah, just make sure you're passionate about your topics, just as a lot of the other presenters said. So next slide, please. So Anne's story, it was really fun. As a fanfic writer, I do enjoy writing. And it's really time to put your ideas to life. Fun fact, I did not know Aniproj was part of the thesis. So at this point where my prof started saying, oh, just pass your Aniproj manuscript, I was like, whoa, Shiba Inu. Yeah, this is my actual thesis now. But it's fine. I actually really like my topic. So yes, next please. For Aniprep, it was a bit harder, but I still enjoyed the process overall. But, you know, like everything, there's a lot of mishaps. Next slide, please. So, mishaps. During this term, I was actually working as a key animator for All the Time, which our friendly neighborhood, Ella Malake, also worked on. So, yeah, during this time, I did not have any breaks during any day. I was working every day animating while also doing Aniprep. And I actually rushed my Prod Bible 2 weeks before the Aniprep defense. So yes, next slide, please. I died in Aniprod 1. But yeah, the production itself wasn't actually that hard. It was more so I got COVID during finals that really killed me inside. I may be here, but I'm not actually here. So yes, I focused more on the easier scenes and cleanups. So yeah, it worked out pretty well. Next slide, please. For Anne Proud 2, I live. Oh my God, I lived. So it was still hard, but it was still a lot easier to deal with. This point, I focused more on coloring and cleaning up the scenes, which Ella also helped on. So thank you, Ella. And yes, next slide, please. For Animend, I'm actually alive. Sure na talaga. So most of the difficulties were just centered around fixing my layout and not much going on. So yes, next please. So Post, it was really fun and rewarding seeing my entire film come together with all the effects and stuff like that. And yes, we're here now. So next please. The mishaps that I encountered here was I was originally supposed to have a composer for my film, but that did not work out as I intended, and I had to really dig for a really vintage style music for my film. It was pretty hard, but yeah. Next slide, please. Toontalk, we're here, so it's great. Next slide, please. So for tips, next slide. Do not sleep on sound mixing. It's actually really important. I did not do that, so it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. And next, oh sorry. The second tip is to plan and allot time for trial and error. And yeah, you actually need to really plan out your failings. So putting it earlier in your project really helps. And 3 is thinking about production even when you're still in Anne's story. I knew really early on I didn't want dialogue in my film because I would die. So yes, thank you. Next slide. Here's just them aged up and the eye bags make a comeback. You'll understand what I mean. But yes, next slide, please. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, and that was a wonderful
Thank
film.
you.
Now the Q&A portion is open. Anyone in the audience would like to ask a question?
How did you choose the animation style and techniques used in your film?
It was really inspired by a lot of different films, but I wanted to go for my realistic style as well as my cartoony style, just to give myself both the contrast and show that I vary. Sorry, I'm adaptable. Yes, grammar. Yes, yeah.
All right. Wow, that's actually a really nice idea, actually, to have
Yeah.
contrasting styles.
Yeah.
So again, thank you so much, and
Thank
congratulations
you.
on your film. Ooh.
Or I think that was one of for me, I think that was one of my favorite films so far.
Wow, high
Yeah.
praise.
So on to our next presenter. Do you dare to explore the unknown? Tunnel by Ira Chang follows Iris, a young wizard who dares enter a mysterious tunnel in search of a star that will grant her magic. She becomes trapped inside when her fear of the darkness begins to consume her.
However, an unlikely friend appears and encourages her to continue. Will she be brave enough to confront her fears and discover what lies beyond them?
We don't know. Let's find out.
Let me
Now
share.
presenting Tunnel by Ira Chang.
Chang.
Hello everyone. So thank you for watching my film. I'm Ira Cheng. Next slide. Next slide please. Production journey. Okay, so my journey was stressful, but at the same time it was also really fun. Next slide please. Thanks. Okay, so the first stages were Annie Proj and Anne's story, and they were pretty chill and easy because it's mostly just writing stuff and some rough sketches. And actually during Anne's story, I was pretty confident with my story and I thought it was already good enough, but next slide, during Annie Prep, I suddenly had a lot of revisions, especially at the ending part of my story because it's quite messy, so I had no choice but to revise it. The stage, my characters also evolved a lot, and I did character environment explorations, and they were quite stressful because I have a lot of environments, but it's still really fun because I like visual development. Next slide. So Anti-Fraud is the most stressful stage for me because it's just a lot of work and it's more technical, and it's the type of work that I don't really want to do because I'm more into like concept and vis dev, not really animating characters. At this stage, I still had some story revisions, but thankfully they're just minor revisions. Next slide. So Post is the easiest stage for me. I love using After Effects, and I really enjoyed adding lights and visual effects because they just make the film look more alive and complete. Next slide. So my advice first is to always consult and ask for feedback, so you know where to improve on. Next is second. Google Calendar is your friend. It's always good to stay organized and to know your deadlines. And lastly, reward yourself from time to time. So this is important to avoid burnout and to stay motivated. Next slide. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Is it on? Okay. The question and answer portion is now open. Would anyone in the audience like to ask a question?
Hello. Hi, Ira.
Hello.
Would you still say that you're uncertain about your future?
That's
right!
Well, you know, uncertainty it's always part of life. The thing is that even though there's a lot of uncertainties, you have to be you have to have the courage to still pursue what you want despite uncertainties, because you don't really know what's gonna happen, how things will end for you. So until you really try things out for yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm proud of you, Ira.
Wonderful words of wisdom. Okay, thank you so much. And I think
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, that was a really nice
it
film.
really was. Oh my
Yeah.
god. And I think that is it for day 4 of Toontalk 2024.
Down the rabbit hole. Congratulations, guys. But before we end this program, may we call on Sir Yo to give his closing remarks for the first batch of films. Hi, guys. Bye, guys. Thank you, Sir Yo. Yeah.
Thank you, Sir Yo. Grabe. So much words of wisdom.
With all of the amazing stories shown today, we hope that you would return for our next... Ay, sorry, tapos na pala. Never mind. This is the script thing. Yeah, and thank you guys so much for watching and enjoying our Toontalk 2024. I hope you will follow us and on our next stage. Okay? Thank you so much. Now we would like to talk about our sponsors, partners, and donors who have contributed and supported this term's Toontalk.
We would like to thank our sponsors, Red Dot Design Incorporated, a design and fabrication company specializing in industrial design and fabrication of point-of-sale displays such as gondolas, kiosks, pop-up stores, event booths, visual merch, displays, and many more.
And Gatling Security and Investigation Agency Incorporated.
Our partners, Animotion, the home organization of the animation program of De La Salle College of St. Benilde.
And Drawing, the premier comic organization of the De La Salle College of St. Benilde.
Our generous donors, the Campos family, Louis Velasco, Kathy Choa, ARJ, Mr. and Mrs. Reyes, Daniel Malazarte, the co-founder of Verse Digital Solutions, and the generous friends of Toontalk.
Last but not least, special thanks to Benilde Hub of Innovation and Inclusion for letting us conduct our event here at the Makerspace. Now, thank you so much for this Toontalks 2024. Congratulations, everybody. Yay! Yes. Okay, and And I think that's it for the
Thank
dry
you.
run. Congratulations, guys.
Congrats.
Ayun. Where's, asan na si Pear? Where did you go? Ay, kamusta na? What are we supposed to do? Okay. I think we're done na. Congrats, guys. Rest na kayo. Hello guys. Break tayo ngayon pero reminder lang na Eagers will start at around 4:30. So you guys can do whatever pero make sure to be back here at 4:30. Thank you.